2025 presidential election in Cameroon, the battle has started. Maurice Kamto denounces a plot to disqualify his candidacy by the regime in Yaoundé, that is the government of President Paul Biya. And this is something we call the attention of Maurice Kamto when President Paul Biya postponed a legislative and municipal election right to 2026. I came out and I said Maurice Kamto will be disqualified and he will not run for the upcoming presidential election. And these are the whole issue. Before I continue with this video talking about the incident, the issue that Maurice Kamto wrote on his Facebook page, I'm going to first of all ask him this particular question, Maurice Kamto in particular, whether the electoral could have been changed. Because in 2020, he decided that his militants should not run for legislative and municipal election until when the electoral code will be changed. And then the electoral code has not been changed and he wants to run for the 2025 presidential election under that same corrupt electoral code. If this is your first time joining TFA Talking Point, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. On his Facebook page, he wrote a very lengthy message that we are not going to go through it all. But in all that message, he was accusing Minister Atanganji of a provocation and many other things that he is doing that are against the law. And this whole issue is that you are dealing with the government. You are a politician. When I came out during that period and talk about the RT, the decision that Maurice Kamto have taken in 2020, that it is wrong, many people were saying that he is well educated, he is an international lawyer, he knows what he is doing. But I say politics is not. If you are not a politician and you do not understand the game the CBD are playing, it will be very difficult for you to understand. It does not require a qualification, educational qualification. It requires discernment, understanding, studying, and knowing the operation of the CPD. And that is where Maurice Kamto failed. Because to him was that by 2025, a legislative election and municipal election will come before the presidential election, and he will ask the militant no matter what to run for. But President Paul Biya and the CPTN were already thinking 20 meters away from him, and then they postponed it without any this thing. And that gave a reason of there is no finance to do it because of COVID-19, the war in Ukraine. Those are the things the government of President Paul Biya named. And this is now affecting affecting Maurice Kamto. It is affecting. This is now affecting him. He was the most popular politician in Cameroon. That likely any problems or any mistake by the CPT, he will take over power. By now, he could have been sure and be struggling to be campaigning, moving from place to mobilize people. But now he is fighting while others are preparing and declaring their candidacy or moving around and mobilizing people. He is now fighting to enter the game, to even put his name, that his name should appear. And then the last part of this, his message that he sent on Facebook is what is calling my attention so much. He says, in the face of this political, judicial, and media conspiracy already engaged, I suddenly invite the people of change and alternance, the MRC activists, the APC supporters, all the Democrats in our country to stand ready to retaliate. The time has come appropriately to debunk what could otherwise be described as a political and legal package. So Maurice Kamto is calling people to be ready, that the time has come to retaliate if his name will not be there. And this is something that may cause a lot of problems in Cameroon. But I will only support Maurice Kamto in this journey if all Cameroonians can stand up the same day, the same time, all over Cameroon, all over the national territory. I will support him, because through this, the CPTM will collapse. But if it is that one group will get up in Yaoundé today, and then tomorrow Douala will be getting up, or they will even be running out of the country, then I will not be in support of it. So, but the whole issue is that he should come out openly and admit to the population that there was a narrative of selfishness within him. Because if he was not selfish, he ran for the 2018 presidential election under the same electoral code. He failed and then moved around. Instead to start planning for 2025 presidential election immediately, he was moving from one place to another, saying he is president-elect and they must take his mandate. And the mandate is already finished. And then when 2020 legislative and municipal election came, he asked the militant not to go in for that he is president-elect, so they cannot go in for this under that same electoral code because they will be defeated, in which he was very popular. By then, if he could have allowed the militant to go for this legislative and municipal election, Maurice Kamto could have been having at least 70 to 80 parliamentarians in the National Assembly. This means a lot. And there will be no problem. But he failed. He did not read the handwriting and of the corruption, the corrupt system in place on the world. It was written clearly. It was a trap, and he failed into it. And now he is paying for it. So I am just saying that what we have to be careful. You have to monitor the atmosphere. The popularity of Maurice Kamto is not as it was in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Drop a little bit, but not too much. He still remains the most popular politician or political parties in Cameroon after the CPDM.